All right, Tanner McKee for 3 first-round picks. I think it could happen. I think we could pull this off. Welcome into the show, everybody. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. You know, I was doing a hit with our good friends John McMullen and Xander Kraus, right, on Jacob Media, right? I was doing that yesterday during Birds 365, and they asked me about excitement. Like John McMullen asked me about excitement. Am I excited about the preseason game? And I said, yeah, you know, it's funny. Every year I sit on the sofa, I go to watch the preseason game, and I immediately I'm excited. I think about, wow, this is great. Eagles football. I'm about to watch Eagles football. I'm about to watch some rookies. I'm about to watch some guys fight, you know, for their position on this football team. And overall, I get to watch football. And then that wears off within like the first 5 plays. And I'm like, okay, that was fun. Now, is this game over yet? It happens every year. Except this year. Because Tanner McKee put on a damn clinic against the Cincinnati Bengals. This was an absolute beautiful performance by Tanner McKee, your backup quarterback. Of the list of concerns, or like the turns, I should say, the turn that this could have taken if Tanner McKee even just had like a mediocre start last night. If Tanner McKee just kind of looked off a little bit, like, you know, wasn't 20 for 25, even if he's like 14 for 25, you know, doesn't, you know, throw for 2 touchdowns, doesn't push another, you know. Oh, the Eagles need a backup quarterback. That's why you can't get rid of Kenny Pickett. You needed to keep a backup quarterback. You need a backup quarterback for at least 2 games with Jalen Hurts as your starting quarterback. You need a back. So, like, considering that this could have went another direction, much like it could have as well for Kevin Patullo, it didn't. It went the most perfect direction it could have possibly gone. Now, let me say, everything we're going to talk about is under the umbrella of, hey, this is a preseason game. So let me just get that out of the way now. Everybody understands it's a preseason game. Nobody needs to hear again that it's a preseason game. We all understand the assignment last night. The assignment last night was to go out there and do their job, and they went out there and they did their job. Tanner McKee especially, Kevin Patullo especially. Ty Robinson picked up his first professional sack in his first professional game. It was nice to see him get off the line of scrimmage. I don't know if the Eagles meant to run a stunt on that play, but that's the kind of way it went with the offensive line. But he got in the backfield, and he did what he was supposed to do in that situation. Also got another quarterback hurry. So that was good. The only sack, by the way, of the Eagles defense in this game. So that was interesting. John Campbell almost had an interception. I mean, we'll go through all this, but all in all, the lead story is Tanner McKee and his performance yesterday. I tell you guys, every single training camp, every single preseason, all I'm looking for is look like you belong. Tanner McKee's not a rookie. Tanner McKee is a guy they showed confidence in by letting Kenny Pickett go. Tanner McKee is a guy that came in and played a little week 17, a little week 18 action and looked comfortable throughout. Yesterday, he looked like a seasoned veteran just getting some run in the preseason. He looked like, being that he played into the third quarter, this was like old school preseason play where starters play into the third in like the third preseason game. Remember that? This is the real dress rehearsal. This is the dress rehearsal the rest of the season. This is a dress rehearsal. Well, Tanner McKee looked like he was all about that dress rehearsal, man. And the way he rehearsed, oh, man, he was hitting every note. Going through the game, one of my favorite things about Tanner McKee last night was the variety of throws. There were a number of throws, back shoulder throws, rolling to his right. There was that one 4th down conversion that he hit. I think that one was to Cooper, where a man was right in front of him, and he just delivered a perfect leading pass to Cooper for the 1st down. There was the slant routes that were perfectly timed, going through his progressions beautifully. Like, he just played a great game last night. He could not have played a better game last night. He had one bad throw where I think he made the bad read, and that was over close to the middle of the field. The one drop by Grant Calcaterra, I think it was early in the third quarter. That, certainly something you want to see. You want to see Calcaterra be able to reel in. Oh, that was in the 3rd and 5. Rolled right, hit Calcaterra in the hands in the second quarter, and he dropped it. That's one you want to see him reel in. But again, you see Tanner McKee make the perfect read and the perfect throw. Doesn't have anything, gets the pressure, feels the pressure, gets out of the pocket, rolls to his right, keeps his eyes downfield. I thought, and I think Ross Tucker even said this during the broadcast, I just thought he was throwing it away. I thought he was throwing it at the feet of whoever was going to be out there. It was the best possible throw he could have made. And it would have been another big pat on the back if Calcaterra is able to reel that one in for that first down, because it would have been a first down. It would have been about a 7-yard gain. It was past the sticks. So you want to see that. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. Now, later in the drive, I think they were able to come up with that 44-yard field goal by Jake Elliott. But what really impressed me was solely for Tanner McKee was the fact that he was making crisp, accurate throws, great reads, never looked like he was in over his head, and he just looked like a seasoned veteran getting warm-ups in the preseason. The other thing was him and Kevin Patullo. I never saw, we'll keep it with Tanner McKee in a second. Let's hear from Nick Sirianni and Tanner about his start last night. But the other thing was there was no moment where there looked like there was any miscommunication between him and Patullo. There was one play that resulted in a fumble. I think the Eagles were able to keep it, though. That was the A.J. Dillon looked like he rolled the wrong direction, or maybe Tanner McKee rolled the wrong direction under center, and it ended up being a botched play. But that was really it. But the communication, as far as the communication went between Patullo and McKee, even Patullo and Dorian Thompson-Robinson, everything looked great. There was no point last night where I looked at Kevin Patullo and went, oh, this guy, clearly a first-year play caller and offensive coordinator. This guy, he's got a lot to learn, this guy. Never felt like Tanner McKee was being graded on a curve last night. I never felt like Kevin Patullo was being graded on a curve last night. The only moment, and I'll tell you this a little bit later, but there was one moment where I went, okay, really, is that it? Is that all you got? Is that all you got, Kevin Patullo? And then that was quickly wiped away. But we'll get to that in a second. But first, let's hear from Nick Sirianni on Tanner McKee's performance last night. Even John McMullen getting in on the question.
How do you think Tanner played tonight?
Played pretty good.
but a little bit more as far as what he did well.
He played good. No, he did a lot of good things. Went to the right place with the football, was accurate. Ran, had really good operation. Him and Kevin, a lot of communication, and Scott. He did a really nice job.
I love that even the coach is having fun with it. Like, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say about a 20 for 25 performance? What do you want me to say about that? 252 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 in the air, 1 rushing. I mean, that's a Jalen Hurts stat line, folks. And that was through 2.5 quarters. Yeah, it's pretty good. Now, one of my favorite things, and this is now gone, I didn't see this originally. I only saw this after the fact. But the social media team there for the Philadelphia Eagles went and did the very famous bit. I've even done this bit before, where you reveal the Madden ratings to players. And one of my favorite things about Madden ratings is that every player I've ever talked to, they always tell me they don't former player I've ever talked to. They always tell me, I don't pay attention to that Madden stuff. I'm like, oh, yeah? What was your lowest grade ever? He's like, no, man, nobody cares about that. 81. They all know it. They all know it. And I'll throw his name out there. I remember I name drop, whatever, fine. But Hines Ward. I was working behind the scenes with Sunday Night Football. Got to talk to Hines a couple of times, more than one occasion. And we were talking about Madden ratings, and Hines Ward chimed in and was just like, oh, man, nobody cares about the Madden ratings, whatever. It's just like, oh, yeah? What was your lowest rating? Nobody cared. 81. And they all remember like that. They just all remember that little footnote in their career. So Tanner McKee at practice, they go up to him, the social media team of the Eagles, and they say, hey, do you want to know your Madden rating? And he's like, oh, no, I just heard it's not that good. And it's like, oh, yeah, 61. He's like, oh, man, come on. And then as he's walking away from the exchange, he goes, just watch on Thursday. We'll see about that. Now, the other crazy part about this that I didn't realize is that Kyle McCord is, the fourth string quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles right now. His man ratings is 65. Well, he hadn't even played in the NFL level yet. What are we doing here? But anyway, so then Tanner McKee goes out there and absolutely lights it up. It is the preseason opener. So after the game, all humble all the time. All humble all the time. Here's Tanner McKee yesterday after the game.
It felt good. I felt like we were moving the ball, which was always fun. Obviously we'll watch film, and you never really know until you watch film. There's things that are like, crap, I missed that or whatever. But overall, moved the ball well, had a lot of guys that made great plays. So the feeling is good.
Now, the follow-up to that question was, you had the viral moment where he went out, and he's like, yeah, I know. Like someone, he had already thought of it, or somebody reminded him of it, but he was like, oh, yeah, this will help that Madden rating, make me a 61. Come on, man. But it was great to watch that last night. And I think when he says, yeah, I got to watch the film. Okay, dude, you had 5 incompletions. At least one of them wasn't your fault. You threw, again, back shoulder throws, slant routes, go balls, rollouts. You did everything. You did everything you needed to do while you were playing quarterback for your football team yesterday. Did everything you were asked of. Everything you were asked to do, you did. The film, sure. Go and watch that. Maybe you missed something else. Maybe you missed a ball down the field that could have been an instant touchdown. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't watched film yet either. But I love that he's holding himself to that standard. Like, what do you expect him to say? Like, go out there and be like, yeah, I lit it up, man. Do you believe they had their starters in? Do you believe do you believe the Bengals had their starters in and I still torched them? Do you believe I got it in there with the tush push? So congratulations to Tanner McKee. And yes, I absolutely would trade him. If somebody's calling and offering you a first-round pick, oh, that's an instant yes. Now, here's the deal. I said yesterday on the post-game show I was doing with Harry Mays and Jason Martinez that you're probably looking at like a second-round pick in all reality, and they base that on the last time the Eagles dealt a quarterback late in training camp was Sam Bradford when Teddy Bridgewater went down in Minnesota. And I remember Howie's argument with Minnesota was, you're taking my starting quarterback, when everybody knew Minnesota was doing the Eagles a favor and that they wanted to have Carson Wentz as the starter, but Sam Bradford was still there. So Howie's like, you're taking my starting quarterback here. You have to give me a number one. You have to give me a first round pick. And that's exactly the way it went down. Now, the other interesting thing here is that if a team is trading for Tanner McKee right now, they're not trading for him to be a backup. They're trading for him to be a starter. So Howie's argument here could easily be, Indianapolis, hey, New Orleans, you want him to be your starting quarterback? Well, you got to give me a number one pick. I'm giving you a starting quarterback, and you're going to give me only a third, only a second? Were you kidding me? And plus, it's Howie Roseman, the wizard. The guy that comes in there with that Men in Black wand is just like, you won't even remember this. Boop. So, yeah, you just might get that first-round pick. Now, the argument is easily then, oh, man, what are you going to do then if Jalen Hurts goes down? Well, what if I told you? I was reading this article the other day on the Rams, and they were talking about backup quarterback situations. And then also what Will Howard went down in Pittsburgh. And I thought Carson Wentz was with the Chiefs still. But apparently he's with the that other team. He's with nobody. And his name's getting brought up for the Colts. His name's getting brought up for the Steelers. Would you bring Carson Wentz back under Jalen Hurts? Now, here's the thing. Carson Wentz, when he was here, I don't think he was a good teammate. As from a lot of reports, he had his clique, that kind of thing. I don't think this is the same Carson Wentz. Like, you talk about maybe opening up old wounds and all that stuff. I don't think so. Nobody's supplanting Jalen Hurts, and I have never questioned Jalen Hurts' mental toughness in this fantasy scenario I'm bringing up here, and not a good fantasy. I don't long for Carson Wentz to be back, but I'm just thinking about who's available on the open market, who's available as a free agent that you could just sign and you'd feel good. Ian Book, a former Eagles backup, is now with the Saints, and Kellen Moore. It's another name that would be out there that wouldn't cost you a lot in terms of trading for him to be a backup quarterback here, who obviously knows the system. But if the opportunity presents itself where you can get a first-round pick, yeah, I'm trading Tanner McKee. But again, you got to then make sure you have a backup. You have somebody else in mind that you can elevate, because Dorian Thompson-Robinson, yeah, no thanks. Kyle McCord, he wasn't asked to do a lot, but what he was asked to do, there's a lot of work that needs to be done there. You're going to have to get somebody else. You're going to have to get maybe a veteran off the street to come in here and be the backup, because with Carson, with Jalen Hurts, you're going to need, same was true with Carson Wentz. With Jalen Hurts, you're going to need a backup quarterback to come in and play a little bit. So I love what I saw from Tanner McKee. If he's here all year, then great. You feel great about the backup quarterback spot. But if someone's offering you top dollar for him, no question. Because again, let's go to this. Do you want a guy? So let's say that they play this year out with Tanner McKee, and he plays 2 games. Do you want a guy that is going to come in here and play 2 games, or do you want to draft somebody in the first round that can play 10 years for you and help you win for 10 years at another position? Yeah, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that. And I feel pretty damn good about it as well. But the bottom line just doesn't change. You are going to need a backup quarterback, but you can still get one of those. Tanner McKee's not the only backup quarterback. Let's put it that way. So that's where I'm at on that. Let's get to Kevin Patullo. I mentioned this earlier, and this is the one thing. If I had to really say, oh, this really bothered me or whatever, if I had to really nitpick with something with Kevin Patullo, it's the first touchdown drive. They get down to the goal line. It's first and goal from the 5. They're down 7-0 at this point. First and goal from the 5. Shipley for 2 yards. Second and goal from the 3. Shipley for 2 yards. Third and goal from the 1. Shipley for no gain. It's like, we got anything else going on there, Kevin Patullo? We got anything else going? Can I get a back shoulder? Can I get a fade route to Johnny Wilson? Can I get something there? Let's get a little creative here. It's not like those are plays that you're going to put out there and, oh, look, they could run a fade route. Oh, my goodness, didn't think of that. So I don't know what the deal was, but it was quickly wiped away when I realized, oh, they're just going to tush push. And that's exactly what they did. And as fate would have it, the first touchdown they scored after the Super Bowl, after all the offseason drama surrounding the tush push, talking about it at the owners' meetings, bringing it up again at the league meetings a month later after you tabled it and blah, blah, blah. After that, the first touchdown the Eagles score, it's a tush push touchdown. And Tanner McKee need every bit of that tush push from, it was more like a carry. It's more like a shoulder carry from Grant Calcaterra, who basically put his arms under Tanner McKee, the Titanic style, and dragged him across the goal line by an inch maybe, and they were able to score their first touchdown. So it's still nice to have that in case of emergency break glass. Also, for your backup offensive lineman like Drew Kendall at center, it's good to have that play run for him while he's up there. Also, Tyler Steen did start last night, which was great. Also did a great job springing Will Shipley open for that big run in the first quarter. But yeah, all in all, I felt like the communication, I felt like the play calling, like there was never a moment where it looked like Kevin Patullo was having his first day at the job. And I know he said throughout training camp and mini camp, things aren't that different in this position that I'm in now compared to what it's been before. Things aren't that different. Well, it better be a little bit different. It didn't look that different to him. You know what he looked like yesterday? He looked like a guy who really paid attention. Now, obviously, he's not going to get that job if he didn't pay attention, but he looked like a guy that absolutely paid attention. He looked like a guy that has been here through 3 different play callers. He looks like a guy who has worked hand in hand with Kellen Moore, a very experienced play caller and offensive coordinator in the NFL. He looked like a guy who obviously knew his team, knew his players, and there was never a moment, like I said, where you needed to call a last-second timeout. They weren't breaking the huddle late. They were getting the line of scrimmage. They were crisp in their execution. And as a matter of fact, Tanner McKee, even before they took the field, right after warm-ups, or right before the game, I should say, Tanner McKee said, just like practice, let's go execute. And that's exactly what it looked like. They look like a well-coached, well-oiled machine offensively. Couple of blips. That's why it's the preseason. But really never a moment where I was like, oh, this is going to be trouble. There's nothing offensively you can look at and go, oh, this is going to be an issue. So offensively speaking, felt great. Felt great. Absolutely felt great. Defensively speaking, I understand it's Joe Burrow. I understand it's Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I understand that the Cincinnati Bengals played their starters. Adoree Jackson has been a starting corner in the NFL for a long time. Kelee Ringo has started games in the NFL. He's looking to make a name for himself as a starter. He's looking at this as his big opportunity to go out there and prove that he can be a starter. Neither one of them looked real good last night. Adoree Jackson was soft coverage all the live-long night. Kelee Ringo is still in spin cycle after that little curl route from Jamar Chase that he took to the house. Also, I think it was also Jamar Chase down the sideline that Ringo was like, oh, no, he's out of bounds. Like, no, he's not out of bounds. He's very much in bounds. He's very good at his job. That wasn't great, just for starters. And then on the first touchdown of the game, this one by the Bengals on that 2nd and goal, Hudson gets the ball over the middle. Mondon and McWilliams try to bring him down to no avail. He scores the touchdown. That was bad. The best part of this defense for me was seeing Sidney Brown take a step forward. And the one play in particular I'm going to mention on that is the play that he really broke up. I mean, they got a gain on it. So, I mean, it's hard to say they broke it up, but there was one particular play in the first quarter where he was at safety. Him and Tristan McCollum were their starting safeties. Recognized the play, had a great pursuit to the play, got through a blocker, and then impeded the runner to be brought down, 5 yards down this up the field as opposed to, like 15 if he doesn't make that play. So that's not something that I'm used to seeing on that. It was a swing pass in the first quarter. I'm not used to seeing Sidney Brown do that. I'm used to see him go full head of steam, just trying to take out the blocker. For him to take on the blocker as opposed to just take him out, I thought was a big step forward for him. I'm not used to seeing that. And he still made a play on the football. So I loved seeing that. But yeah, Adoree Jackson, I felt like there was a big cushion. There was one play that was actually wiped off, and it was the touchdown that Jackson allowed on the 1st and goal play that got negated because of the chop block. So and that had nothing to do with Adoree Jackson getting burnt or beaten coverage like he stole something. But yeah, I was not impressed by what you saw at the cornerback position, defensively speaking, last night. I liked what I saw for the most part from Sidney Brown. McWilliams and Mondon showed that they got some growing to do. And look, that's why you got the preseason. That's why you got all training camp left. So I'm not freaking out about it. I'm just evaluating this one game. I wouldn't mind seeing the Eagles go out there and get another corner. It did make a hell of a lot more sense as this game went on, albeit the competition they were playing against, as to why Howie Roseman went out there already to make an acquisition when it comes to Jacory and Bennett. The Eagles need a corner. Howie's like, I already got one. I got one waiting in the wings already. I saw this coming a mile away. I wonder if Howie knew already that they were going to play their starters. It would look this bad. He's like, let me just get ahead of this and get another corner in here immediately. And, oh, here we go. We got a corner. But the guy that they dealt, and as I told you when they dealt him in Thomas Booker IV, it's because they feel pretty damn good about their defensive tackle position. And Ty Robinson impressed me last night. Gabe Hall impressed me last night. You didn't see either starter, Jalen Carter or Jordan Davis. Gabe Hall played the vast majority of the game. Ty Robinson played the vast majority of the game. I look forward to – I didn't see their snap counts yet. Try to get their snap counts, but I think they played the whole game. Let's see if the Eagles actually have it on their website, so I don't have to go through a whole rigmarole. Game notes, play-by-play, game stat. No. Usually I have the game book up there. But it certainly felt like they were in throughout the entire game. Oh, excuse me. Yes. They have the game book. Here were your starters last night, by the way. Gabe Hall, Uche. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. impressed me yesterday. He led the team in tackles with 6. Keely Ringo, Mac McWilliams, Adoree Jackson, were your starting corners. Brown and McCollum. Ty Robinson. Azeez Ojulari, invisible. Give me them snap counts. Give me them snap counts. Oh, you didn't count the snaps? NFL.com. How dare you? How dare you? We're professionals here. I don't care if it's preseason. You count those snaps. But anywho, that's the way that game went last night. Darius Cooper, as far as guys that weren't really on a lot of people's radar, but will probably be on people, like Johnny Wilson's on people's radar. Jahan Dotson's on people's radar. Will Shipley's on people's radar. A.J. Dillon is on people's radar. That's another thing Kevin Patullo did that I was waiting to see if he would do. First off, I was a little surprised that A.J. Dillon played after Will Shipley, but all right. But Will Shipley got throws to him, I believe, in last night's game. Yeah, he made 1 reception last night. A.J. Dillon had 3 catches last night. One of the things that we were expecting from Kevin Patullo in this game was throwing to running backs. I mean, we're not going to see the whole playbook. We know that. But in terms of mentality of like, hey, get the ball to a running back if nothing's there, they certainly did that last night. It looks like they actually called a couple of plays. Maybe 2 of those catches to A.J. Dillon were on a called play to him, and he delivered on those. I expected more of that to go to Will Shipley. They went to A.J. Dillon for it. You did hear Kevin Patullo specifically say that people think of A.J. Dillon as this like brute runner, but this guy can catch footballs for you. Well, he lived up to his word when it came to that. So good job. But yeah, I thought he was good last night. A lot of these guys really did their job very well last night from an offensive perspective. From an offensive perspective, excuse me. Again, Darius Cooper actually led you in receptions yesterday with 6, and he had 82 yards in that touchdown. Aniyah Smith was great last night as well, especially in the return game. 2 of my favorite things about last night's game, Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley on the sidelines just giving it up for Tanner McKee and Aniyah Smith. Like, both of them were so into this game for these guys. It was great. Like, it made me think about the culture that everybody talks about with the Eagles, and not just a winning culture, but a culture of, everyone supporting each other. Everybody's into it. Everybody's having a good time. Saquon Barkley basically running stride for stride with Aniyah Smith down the sideline during his punt return was awesome. And another thing on that too, Saquon Barkley is being interviewed during one of the big runs there last night by Powell. And I think it was that 19-yard run. And he's being interviewed, and he looks off from Dave Spinero and he goes, "Oh, go, baby, go. Go, baby, go. Go, baby, go. That's it." I'm sorry, what? What was the question? It just shows that they're into the game and they're supporting their teammates. You'd love to see that. The other thing was, we're done with Cooper DeJean as a punt returner now, right? We're done with it. Can we be done with that? We're done with that, right? It's over? Yeah, stop doing that. I don't think, especially after last night's performance for your cornerbacks, let's use the bar that Vic Fangio set. Vic Fangio basically set the bar of, okay, well, if you don't want Cooper DeJean playing outside corner, then Adoree Jackson and Keely Ringo better be better than the option of Cooper DeJean. Sidney Brown better also be better than Cooper DeJean at safety. I was a little bit more convinced of that with Sidney Brown last night than I was with anything at the corner. So in base coverage, nobody is starting over Cooper DeJean. They're rarely in base coverage. So you are still going to have an outside corner other than Cooper DeJean. So if he is still going to be that Swiss Army knife of a defensive player that Vic Fangio has talked about, then he better not be returning punts, because now he's going to be out there for 85, 90% of the snaps defensively. Yeah, I don't want him returning punts too. That could be somebody else's job. Nia Smith, good hustle to you. I believe you just won that job last night. So, yay. Those are a bunch of things I really liked about last night's game, and some things I didn't when it came to the cornerback spot. Yeah, Powell really impressed me. That was fun. A.J. Dillon, that was fun. Darius Cooper, certainly. Oh, the second quarter, that slant route, the Nia Smith touchdown, that was perfectly executed. Another great throw. That was a 10-play, 72-yard drive for your Philadelphia Eagles. Brandon Johnson coming up with that nice play. After he got the holding penalty, came back, had a nice pass breakup. That was good to see. Eli Ricks dropped an interception. Didn't look particularly great throughout the game. Jake Elliott missed a 55-yard field goal on 4th and 7, but there was a penalty. And after that, that's when McKee hit that great, oh my goodness, that great rollout to his right, where he really thread the needle on that 4th and 2, and hit Darius Cooper in stride for a nice little 6-yard gain there. Elliott ended up getting a field goal on that drive. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. dropped an interception. 3 drop picks last night. And Patrick Johnson, how about him? Little tip drill to himself, 7th-round pick for that pick. That was great to see. Shunderick Powell, by the way, 5'7", coming up with some big plays last night. And yeah, Kyle McCord left quite a bit to be desired when it came to his brief playing time at the end of the game last night. But all in all, hey, you come away with a 34-27 win. Your backup quarterback looks like a stud. Your first-year offensive coordinator and play caller doesn't show any, first-day jitters, if you will. Everything was coming up roses as far as the offense went in this one. So I was very much impressed by what I saw from the Philadelphia Eagles last night. Please, in the comments, let me know what you guys have to say. And I know this is how Nick Sirianni answered the question about how do you think Nick did?
How do you think Tanner played tonight?
Played pretty good.
Excuse me, Nick saying how Tanner did last night. I think this is what Nick meant to say.
Well, that's pretty dope.
There you go. That's pretty dope. All right. There's no overreactions here. We all understand it's preseason. What'd you like about it? What didn't you like about it? Who's concerning? What do you want Howie to be in the lab working on right now? Is it a new corner? Is it trading Tanner McKee for a first-round pick? Is it acquiring a veteran back? If the Eagles, if there's rumors about the Eagles talking to a veteran free agent quarterback, if there's rumors about that right now, then you know that the Eagles are going to be wheeling and dealing. I wouldn't put it past them. And look, I understand, and I'm not excluded from this. I gave Howie a ton of crap for this, but the whole quarterback factory thing, oh, baby. Yeah, he got a lot of heat for that. He even admitted that he regretted saying it, but he's not wrong. If you could get guys in here and flip them for picks, whether it's A.J. Feely for a second-round pick, whether it's Sam Bradford for a first-round pick, whether it's Tanner McKee for a first-round pick, hey, man, make that happen. Obviously, I trust the Eagles to just not do it willy-nilly. I trust the Eagles to be like, yeah, we're going to get another guy in here. It's just not going to be Dorian Thompson-Robinson and Kyle McCord. They're obviously going to sign Carson Wentz. I still can't believe he's a free agent. I don't know. Is this CBS Sports? Yeah, CBS Sports, as of yesterday, has him as a free agent. Fascinating. Could you imagine that? Could you just imagine that world? How much? Like, look, we just went through a conversation recently on Locked On 76ers of like Ben Simmons coming back to the Sixers. It ain't happening. I would say it would be a different version of Ben Simmons. because you can't be cocky and dictate how things go when you haven't played for like 4 years, or 3 years. You can't be cocky when you've been just a backup quarterback really since you left and failed in Indianapolis, failed in Washington, got sacked 9 times in your first game against the Eagles. I think the sting has been out, and I think Carson Wentz has learned a lesson or two. Maybe can you coax Nick Foles out of retirement? I know he's winning pickleball championships and all that stuff now in his post-NFL playing career. Maybe you bring him out of retirement. I don't know. These are the possibilities. We're just having fun. We're just having fun here. All right. Before we get into the chat check, let me tell you about the great people at the Game Time app. Want to go to the game? Want to go to the concert? Want to go to the comedy show? Game Time app has you covered. So download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code Farzy, and get $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. And how about this? The Game Time Picks feature. Oh, it's great. The Game Time Picks, you know what that does? That filters out all the fluff so you get right down to it. The best seats at the best prices on the Game Time app. So download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code Farzy, get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply on the Game Time app. How about PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. That's PHLSportsNation.com. And don't forget to check out Brett's amazing inventory at SkyMotorcars.com. That's SkyMotorcars.com. Let's get into the chat check and see how your wonderful people are doing on this fine morning. QB. Oh, maybe QB. Maybe you play QB after they trade Tanner McKee. Good morning, Sunshines. Good morning to you. Sean Gillespie, hello. C-Love, the man even completed a tush push. I was like, is this 6'6" SOB not going to make it over the goal line? Really? Really? And then he made it. Mike, yo. Thomas, what's up, cousin? Morning. Fun game last night. Hopefully you're having your espresso this morning, cousin. I already had mine. I got to drive down to Maryland today. I'm going to be having a bunch of espresso. Here's just real quick on this. For those that have young kids watching this, it's always better to drive, right? And have your significant other, have your as I like to refer to my wife, my baby mama, have her in the riding shotgun. Because if you're going to try to sleep in the passenger seat with 2 young kids in the back, that ain't going to go. That ain't happening. It's every 2 seconds. Every 2 seconds. They have everything everything within their grasp, and they want something else. That's just the way life is, man. So I'm probably just going to end up driving, and then I'll probably crash once I get to my brother-in-law's. Sean Gillespie, what's going on? Don't trade Tanner. We'll definitely need him late in the season. I agree. You will need a backup quarterback late in the season. You'll need a backup quarterback at some point this season. So make sure you get a backup quarterback after you trade Tanner McKee for a first-round pick. Never bring Wentz back. I know, but wouldn't it be fun? Don't get me wrong. I'm with you, Mike. I'm just bringing it up for funsies. Yeah. The neutralizer is Howie's main weapon. The neutralizer. Yes, of course. Bing. Sean Gillespie, Carson Wentz should just retire. 2 Super Bowls on the bench watching his backups win. How about that, man? McKee is better than most. No doubt. No doubt. This guy, you mean to tell me the Browns wouldn't want him as their starter? You mean to tell me the Saints wouldn't want Kellen Moore? How amazing would that be if Kellen Moore's like, yeah, let's just get Tanner McKee at quarterback. Yeah, okay, trade him a first-round pick. That'd be amazing. Adoree Jackson looks worse than Ringo, and Ringo wasn't good. To be fair, Ringo was covering, yes, one of the best wide receivers in the league. Absolutely. Bilal Musa, what's going on? Good morning. Jason A., this is why they have Quenya shadowing this year, because you don't want Ringo on Chase. Absolutely. Thomas, disappointing Ringo. Looked every bit like a backup. We need Ringo to play the way Dotson did. Don't need Ringo to be an all-pro, just be serviceable. Yeah, I agree. Kind of serviceable. Jason A., Sidney Brown looked pretty good, but still reckless. He's still got that in him. Again, the play that really jumped out to me with him was breaking up he made the play on the swing pass. He recognized it. Great angle, great pursuit, took on the blocker, Didn't look to blow up the blocker, took on the blocker, shed the block, helped to make a play on the football. Bilal, what's going on? Man, what a game. I don't know. I should I don't know. I should sell all my McKee cards or hold them. That's funny. If somebody offers the Eagles a first-round pick or even a second-round pick for Tanner McKee won't be here. Now, the Eagles are going to have to bring in another quarterback. That's obvious. I do really like Tanner McKee. If Tanner McKee's here for the season, whoopity-doo. I'm very happy about that. But if another team's like, give you a first for him, deuces, Tanner McKee. Like, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? You could get a guy. Okay, so Tanner McKee, let's just say on average, these guys play 2 games for Jalen Hurts every year. Okay. Do I want a guy that's going to play 2 games? Or do I want a player that can help you for 10 years? This is easy. This is easy. This isn't a hot take. This is actually a very measured, no-duh take. The old Norm Macdonald joke. And this was written in a publication called Duh. All right. JJ said McKee should be off limit. He's untouchable. Patula looked great. Yes, he did. Impossible not to root for Nia Smith. Really like that kid. Absolutely. Really. Yeah. Can we be done? We're done with the Cooper DeJean punt return stuff. Okay. I'm sure I wrote it down. I had to have written it down. I would have not write it down. I'm a professional, for crying out loud. 46-yard punt return. Yeah, I'm good. Cooper DeJean, congratulations. You're never returning a punt again. Ron B. McKee is a stud, best pure passer in Philly in a long time. Yeah, I don't care about the pure passer thing. I got to be honest with you. I just care about guys that win football games. And nobody does that better than Jalen. And I also had this thought last night. So Tanner McKee was better than, like, if you were doing a list of who was a better quarterback last night, Tanner McKee's better than Joe Burrow, because, the people that make the lists, they all slight Jalen Hurts because of what he's got around him. So then Tanner McKee is throwing to Johnny Wilson and Darius Cooper. So I guess that means he's a better quarterback than Joe Burrow. So Joe Burrow sucks. How about that? Because he's who's around him. Definitely need work on the corners, says Sean Gillespie. Sean Kilrain, good morning. Good morning. April, good morning. Darius Cooper graduated from Tarleton State, originally St. Louis, Missouri. From St. Louis, Missouri. It's a blessing to be here. You could tell will be a fan favorite. I hope so. Johnny Wilson showed up last night after getting manned up by McWilliams in practice, you mean? April, man, I don't miss the young kid days. Oh, yeah, so much easier when they could do stuff for themselves. I've said this. I said this before I was a parent. I'm saying it now. I should say when I was about to be a parent. I was never going to say I can't wait. I was going to cherish the moments. I still cherish the moments. I never say I can't wait. However, I will say today's a big day because today is the first time we pack the car, and I don't need a pack and play. I don't need to pack a hotel room for my son, who's 3.5. I don't need to pack one for Leo. I could just get in the car, dude. Give me your bag. There you go. Of course, we'll pack the bag. My wife will pack the bag. She already packed the bag. But yeah, Lil Toots, she's gonna be packing her own bag today. I've been waiting a long time to ask this question. What do you think you need for the weekend? What do you think you need for the weekend, honey? Ringo needs baptism by fire. Guarding the Triple Crown winner. Brian Pumper, that's a good point. That's a good point. And Keely Ringo, here's the thing. Here's one thing. I'll tell you something I love about Keely Ringo. Competitor to the fullest. Doesn't shy away. Was at his locker yesterday, acknowledging the mistakes, acknowledging it can only go up from here. I mean, this is a guy that a year ago when the Eagles drafted Cooper DeJean and Quenyon Mitchell, he was like, yeah, let's bring it. It's all about competition. Like, it said everything. He didn't sulk. There was no hint of being disingenuous. It was all about competing. Well, hey, yeah, baptism by fire, Brian. That's a great way to put it. You want a starting cornerback job? All right, go stop Jamar Chase. Didn't work out so well? Okay, we know we got a lot of things to work on. And by the way, it hasn't worked out so well for many corners across the league. Many starting corners across the league. Tanner, not going anywhere. You don't have a backup, especially this late in the offseason. Guys are going to get cut. Slimville Slugger, how I feel. All right, what's going on? On the trade block, Tanner McKee, Jahan Dotson, and Nia Smith. I'm not Here's the one thing. I'm not trading Nia Smith. I see that guy returning punts. I need a punt returner, so Cooper DeJean's not a punt returner. He's not going anywhere. William Miller, better than all 6 quarterbacks in Cleveland. He absolutely is. I concur. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are great, as per usual. I'll be back with you guys on Monday for the Farzy show, so I look forward to Monday's Farzy show. I should be back from Maryland by then. If not, I'll just put up a note and let you guys know, but I should be back by then. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hey, more of me coming up on Locked On 76ers at 7:30 this morning. We're going live, so you don't want to miss that one. I think I just saw one more comment pop up in here. Oh, no, Jem, don't say that. Farzy Fightins will lose today. Don't say that. Can't beat Texas on the road since 2024 or 2014. That's no bueno. Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys are great as per usual. My name is Mark Farzetta. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe on the Farzy Show YouTube channel. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe on the Locked On Eagles YouTube channel. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe on the Locked On Sixers YouTube channel. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe on the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. And make sure you guys hit like and subscribe on Jacob Media as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a great weekend, everybody. Talk to you guys on Monday. See you then.